Was your life traumatic? I'm Anna Rumor with Pop Culture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from comicbook.com.
And this is Drag, where we offer up our unfiltered opinions on RuPaul's Drag Race and celebrate the L in LGBTQ+. Nick, what'd you think of my opening line? That really stuck with me this week.
Oh my God, yeah. You know what stuck with me? The complete opposite of that. Meow. Yeah.
Meow, meow. This week was so good. We're going in on the 10th episode of All Stars 8. It's the makeover challenge, and clearly we were kind of all over the map with this one. So we start off with a mini challenge. We've been missing the mini challenge these past couple of weeks. Nick, what did you think of this Jean-Paul Gaultier photo shoot?
A mini challenge. I think I'm just excited to see one.
Truly, we've had one this entire time.
They finally decided to give us one instead of padding out with conversations, which are fine. You know, I'm not going to turn down conversations and drama, but I guess there's not any drama with these queens anymore. It's just they're down to business. And I'm glad we got the mini challenge. I thought Jessica did the best, so I was fine with the win there.
I thought she did the second best. I really like Jimbo's, but that's just because I thought she was being the funniest and saying that it was only available in the black market and that kind of thing. But I did love Jessica's little pineapple bathing suit thing that she had on. So I was totally fine with her winning. And it didn't really matter, did it?
Yeah, ultimately it didn't matter, as we find out. Spoilers for that, but I was a big fan of Forbidden Juice. I really liked her look. And they were the best, and then Candy came up as a distant third. Come on, my muse, Candy. Come on, you could have done better.
Well, it's just a quick little blurb in there, and I'm happy to have it. Before we meet our makeover participants, like I said, we're celebrating lesbians this week, so we bring in 3 lesbians to make over for the makeover challenge. We've got Lisa, Amanda Faye, great name, and then Angie, who all come in, and they are so game to be made up in drag.
Yeah, it's always great when someone's ready to do this. I'm glad we're beyond that. I believe it was early seasons where they were a little uncomfortable with the idea. And no, I love that we're not wasting time with that anymore, right? It's just let's go already.
Exactly. I think they started to realize that no one likes to watch these participants be uncomfortable. We want them all to have a good time. We're rooting for them to get along with their queens. We're rooting for them to like their makeover. And I think this was a great one. I mean, let's start off by talking about Jessica and Kitty Wild, Lisa. I thought they had a really sweet bond. Jessica immediately recognized that Lisa's a little bit more on the shy side, and really, I felt met her in that place.
Yeah, she was trying her best to bring that out of her. Mm-hmm. You know, find the common ground. That's where the Kitty Wild came from, and the meow.
Yeah. And Lisa has a cat, so, it's double.
Yeah, it was very fun. They were obviously connecting, and they found ways to connect. They had similar upbringings. Mm-hmm. They had, it was just, it's nice to see them finding common ground.
It was kind of the same way with Candy and Cookie. Angie. They were talking about how both of them have a very similar life as well. I mean, Candy's mom is a lesbian, and Angie was very identifying with that. That was wonderful to hear them talk, and I felt they were just having a really good time together.
Yeah, it was clear that Angie, there's a reason, spoilers again, there's a reason we get the result we get. They found a lot of ways to connect, and Angie was able to break out of her shell because she was dealing with the fact that, she wasn't more femme presenting, and how that was always something that weighed her down as an anchor. Yeah. And so she wanted to confront that completely, and it's good to see that she did. Just watching the episode, I do feel like she was able to explore that side of her.
Yeah, both Angie and Lisa mentioned we don't present too femme because that was used as something to bully us and try and put us into this mold when we were younger, and now that we've broken out of that mold and get to live our authentic lives, it's difficult to kind of go back to that. But once they were in drag, I feel they found a new life for that side of themselves, and that was really cool to watch.
Yeah, it's always a shame when someone has to close off a part of themselves because it's not exactly fitting in a box. And with those two in particular, you can definitely tell that they flourished from that. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing. I will say across the board, I'm glad this isn't one of the years where one of the makeovers was a letdown in some way.
Yes.
There, we have seen those in the past. That's why these are always tense.
Yeah, I agree. This just felt like kind of healing for them, and like it was just a new chapter or a new opening that they're able to explore. And so that was really great. And then we had Jimbo and Sissy Delicious, who was Amanda, and she is femme presenting and was really comfortable going like more sexy, more pink, more sparkly than the other two participants. And I thought that was a perfect pair for Jimbo, despite Jimbo having to pivot kind of from the clown looks that they had planned.
Yeah, like Jimbo like defaulted to clown immediately, which is, I get it, right? You know, you're Jimbo, this is your game, and you know, this is what you want to do. But also, yeah, I'm glad Jimbo was ready to be like, okay, I do have some ways around it, because we have seen a glamorous Jimbo in the past. Like last week, we just saw a glamorous Jimbo.
Yeah.
So, and this week too, I do feel like that in spite of the hard pivot and not getting to do like the comedy aspects of it, like I think that Jimbo did great.
Yeah, I agree. And it was just like sweet to watch Jimbo kind of recognize that, oh, these really high fashion kind of clowny looks that I brought, they might do well with the judges. Like we'll see later on, they get criticized for being a little bit too basic, but that's not what Sissy wanted to wear. And that is half of the makeover challenge, is making your subject comfortable and feel the way they want to feel on the runway. So big props to Jimbo for being able to pivot and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the props to all three of them too. They all were finely tuned into what the other wanted. This wasn't one of the years where, you know, the makeover person got steamrolled over and came out in something that they weren't truly comfortable with. And I'm glad. And you know, it was a surprise to see a makeover challenge this far into the competition, but honestly, this might be the way to go. Like, less chances for big slip-ups and big, like, embarrassing things, you know?
Yeah, and I felt like I got to know everyone really well by the end of it, so I was like actively rooting for them more than usual. So let's get into the final products when they walk down the runway. We start off with Jessica and Kitty Wild coming down the runway in these kind of like Gaga-esque bodysuits. What did you think of their looks, their family resemblance?
They were great. You know, Kitty was clearly finally feeling it. And as Jessica mentioned too, when she was putting on the makeup, you know, a little more and more attitude came out. And the first thing you look at is whether or not they have a smile on their face, right? You can tell when they're uncomfortable, and when they're uncomfortable, it's a bad time. So, but no, Kitty was ready to go, and big fan of the look. You know, it's very Jessica Wild, very pointy, very high fashion, very like, I'm here. Like, if she were in a fight, that's the kind of look she would have.
Oh, 1,000%. You know Jessica can throw down. Now, this was my favorite look of the challenge, honestly. I didn't like the weird little, like, I don't know what to call it, saddlebags on Kitty, and like the boot obviously was not the best, but I love their blonde hair together. The look was the most interesting for me, and it fit both of them like a glove. I really, really liked this on both of them. Clearly sisters.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was very, like, this is Jessica Wild at her peak, this rocker stuff. Like, this is the stuff we look for. And, you know, it's unfortunate that what happens, because this is such a strong look.
I can't believe that we ended the way we ended after this presentation. Oh. Let's talk about Jimbo and Sissy Delicious next. They come out in this kind of like black zip-up sparkly sheer look with these cute little pink and blue top ponytail looks. I really like these too. It's so funny, when I was looking at it for the first time, I wrote down it looked like they were sisters out on the town in Atlantic City, and then Michelle said Vegas, and I was like, oh, really? Vegas? Okay.
This is definitely like a Vegas or Reno vacation look, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It is one of the more basic looks of the three, but again, Jimbo had something completely different planned, so I am giving credit where credit is due. It's a good look. Obviously, they're sisters. It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, and the important thing is Sissy was having a great time. She had a huge smile on her face. They look like sisters. Jimbo was still able to have like the ample material to work with that Jimbo always does.
Yes.
So, and it worked out fine. Like Jimbo had to do a hard pivot away from the high fashion comedy, but you know, I'm not too mad about this either. This was fun.
Definitely a really good second option. Well, and then we close out this very quick makeover runway with Kandi and Cookie, and they come out in this kind of like mod latex moment. I liked it a lot, but I agreed with the judges that it didn't quite fit Cookie.
See, I liked it because Cookie was clearly like the readiest one. You know, like Cookie was tearing it up. Like Cookie was eating, left no crumbs, as what the some kids would say, right? Like
no cookie crumbs,
like Cookie came out to play. She was ready. She was ready to go, and if she was loving it so much, and I did love the pastels. I'm a pastel person. I love that stuff, and I did like that they weren't completely matching. So, you know, I'm a little upset at the final results, you know, of course, but I can also understand it because there was a lot of variety here, and Cookie was loving it. You can tell. Oh yeah, I mean, she was like living her best life, and whenever they were doing the choreography afterwards, like they had a full-on dance planned. Insane. They definitely, I mean, let's get to it. They definitely deserve the win. Kandi and Cookie win, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's who I wanted to win because I don't want Jessica or Jimbo to go home, but I think she deserved it. Yeah, like Cookie did a split, so like, come on. If we're not rewarding the splits, then what are we doing? Yeah, like you did it, Cookie. Like that's the thing. It's the makeover challenge. It's the person who's made over is the most important thing, and ultimately, Cookie was the happiest. So going in, we've got two people in the bottom. Obviously, they're not choosing their own lipsticks. So I admittedly was like slightly confused what we were doing going into the lip sync. I was like, well, it's gonna be something, there's gonna be a twist, obviously, you know? There's no way for this to make any sense. But then we get Kandi versus Priyanka, or Piranka, depending on who you ask, to jump in. How do you think Kandi did? So I've never seen Priyanka before. Oh my God. Nick, what a treat for you. So that's what I want to say first is I really want to go watch Canada's Drag Race now. Yeah. So like, because I want to see more Priyanka. She's amazing. I was like, oh, where were you this whole season? Yes, she needs to come for the next All Winners season because she is so funny, so good, and I thought she killed this lip sync. Yeah, she tore it up. Like Kandi tried, and you know, Kandi was doing Kandi stuff. You know, she's got that star quality, but she really couldn't spice up this song. So that was the only thing. If Kandi was able to be spicy, we'd be talking something different. But Priyanka, like, totally nailed it. Which is why we get that, like, the end result where it's like, well, Kandi was going to choose anyway. Yeah, so I'm obviously expecting this twist because obviously it can't be a tie. But then it is a tie, and Ru makes this really funny comment whenever Priyanka pulls out both lipsticks. She's like, oh, should we have seen this coming? I thought it was so funny. This show is so unserious sometimes. I love it. You know, any other show would have had RuPaul, like, or the host saying, okay, whoever wins this challenge, send somebody home, right? Yes. But we had to go through all the rigmarole of all this. just to get to exactly where we were gonna get regardless. Kandi has to choose who goes home. What were you thinking she was gonna do before she pulled out her lipstick? I didn't have any thoughts. My only thought was just not Jessica, please. Not Jessica. I know. Because we've heard about the Kandi and Jimbo alliance from the beginning, you know, where it was also Heidi as well. But because the Heidi stuff happened, there was so much, doubt in Jimbo's head and our doubts towards Kandi too. Because it's like, well, if Kandi was playing this game, would she pull an Alexis and and send the stronger competitor home? But on the same side, Jessica is also very strong, and the two, like, she and Kandi clearly had a friendship, and also I just really love Jessica. It was so tough because it's like, I think if you're smart,
you eliminate Jimbo, just pure volume of wins. But also, it's not stupid to eliminate Jessica, who is doing really well. And it's a tough choice to make. It's a tough choice to make. I wish we didn't have to make it, but in the end, Kandy does decide to eliminate Jessica. Nick, I am so sorry for your loss.
This one hurts. This one hurts so much. I don't love this drink. Like, this hurts. Like, guacamole is expensive. Like, just the stuff that Jessica gave us over this season. I'm so glad that she's also in the Fame Games. We'll get to see her again. It's just, man, I was really pulling for her. But at the same time, I can appreciate Kandy. I've also really been rooting for Kandy because I just love her star quality. I
love Kandy too. She's my least favorite of the three, but that is like a very top high three. So that is not an insult at all. I wish they could all go together. I was kind of waiting for Ru to be like, never mind, top three, but that's not what we got. The twist was there's no twist. We've just got a top two. I am excited to see Jimbo and Kandy kind of take to the stage in 2 weeks. We'll talk about that in a second. Who do you think is going to win overall, though?
Ooh, see, this is tough. Like, I would have said Jimbo also, but Kandy really just got this very important win. And Kandy's been getting these late in the game wins too. But Jimbo's, this one's tough. So, but just to stay on the same page I have been this whole time, I will say Kandy. I'll just vote for Kandy.
Okay. And I will be interesting and also go with my heart and root for Jimbo because, as I've said, pretty much every episode since the Meet the Queens special that we did, I love Jimbo, I'm obsessed with her, and I need a win. Okay, but we don't even get to find out who wins for 2 weeks because next week's we have like the culmination of the Fame Games. We have everyone coming back to do this variety show, this variety extravaganza with all the eliminated queens. Okay.
Yeah, my mind's still kind of racing over what exactly that is. Like, are they crowning the winner at that episode, or is it like we find out in the
vote?
Oh yeah, see, I thought the Fan Games thing were just voting on the looks, and then here we are seeing them again. So, first of all, I'm happy to see Jessica again. Cool, thank you, Jessica. I mean, it probably stings a bit because she just lost and has to come back.
My Fame Games winner. Let's just crown Jessica. Let's make it fair there and just, call it a day. I am excited to see another variety show. It is kind of an odd beat mid-season, but I will take it. I'm just curious to see how this weighs in. Does the winner get extra points, or is it just to influence people who are voting? I'm unsure on the format.
That's true too. What if someone could really come through? Yeah, we're here saying, Jessica, just take it. It's yours. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe James Mansfield could come in and provide something huge, and all of a sudden we come away with, James is clearly the winner here. Maybe Mrs. Kasha Davis, who we haven't seen in a while, but she knocks it out of the park. So that's very true. See, I didn't think that. I was just thinking, let's go by their looks. And
that's what I was thinking too, until they were they're back and they're doing cartwheels. I was like, okay, that's fine. So we have that, and then the week after is the finale, I believe, right? That should be the finale. I don't know with this season.
I don't know either. I don't even know what a top two is supposed to look like. What is that? I think we talked about this last week. What does that episode look like? I'm excited though. Let's see. Yeah.
Wherever we are going, we will be with you the entire time. Come back every week. We talk about Drag Race here on Drag. So until next time, have a good one.